still lynch you, but he did, and I think he lasted about a week and a half.
My God, we are in full swing of World Cup football. Have you been enjoying it? It's relentless. So game after game after game. We're now into 4 games a day for the next couple of weeks. So we hope you're enjoying it. Fantastic victory, of course, for England yesterday. A good performance from Declan Rice. I think there's been some controversial opinions on him, but what you saw for him playing for England yesterday was a player going under the radar, allowing players like Jude Bellingham to flourish, and that's exactly what Declan Rice does. He allows all the players who are creative at going forward to do that, and I think that's potentially what we'll be looking at when he does come back to West Ham after the World Cup as well. So well done to England. Of course, there was other teams playing. We're going to get kickstart this campaign now. We'll see. Well, Areola probably won't feature for France later on, but he is part of the squad, of course. And of course, we do know that David Moyes is out in Qatar. We do know that he travelled. He's going out there for approximately 2 weeks, just before the players do come back to their training facilities. And I don't really blame him. And I know there's a mixture of fans that are talking around saying, why is he gone over to Qatar when West Ham are in the situation that we're in? But there's a scouting process blatantly on the go. There's a few players that I think that David Moyes is going out there to particularly look at that could reignite interest in players that we were linked to once upon a time. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go out there and spend a fortune in January. I don't think we are, but I do think we will be looking at specific players to come into the club that maybe we had some form of negotiations with and maybe looking to bring in, and players that I think that maybe Moyes would have wanted over the line that could have helped the current squad. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to choose 3 particular players that I think David Moyes could be out there looking at to potentially bring into the club. So the first one from me is this man, Hans Vanaken. Now, of course, he'll be playing for Belgium at the World Cup, and he currently plays for Club Bruges. Now, he is 30 years old, so he's on the wrong side of the age that we're looking at, but he is absolutely tearing up the J-League in Belgium, and of course, he is a Belgium international. Now, listen, the situation with him was that we wanted to come to West Ham. It looked like we were going to do a deal, and we don't know if that situation transpired because we brought Paqueta in, etc. But we are and have got a player that has been struggling in Tommy Souček, and Hans Vanaken does drive forward. He's a driving forward top of player. Now, can he fit into the team that we've currently got? Well, if we consistently play with Declan Rice, Tommy Souček, and Paqueta in the team, would Vanaken offer us more of a threat going forward than what Tommy Souček does? And I think he would. I think it's a no-brainer that he would. Now, he scored 16 goals and 7 assists in 45 games in the 2020-2021 season, and he racked up 15 goals and 12 assists in the season before. He's 6'5" tall, and he's a real unit, and he's a real physical player. And he's got the attributes to succeed in the Premier League, in my opinion, though. But like I said, he is 30, and that could go against the whole idea of bringing in the player who sits at the younger side of 30. Now, this season, he's hit the ground running again. He's played 17 games in the league, scored 5 goals with 2 assists. He's already made 6 Champions League appearances for Club Bruges. Let's go back to last season in the Champions League. He scored 3 goals with 1 assist. So he's got a lot of Champions League experience. The season before, he played 6 games, scored 3 goals. So he's really effective. He's got a long-lasting history of European football as well. Now, he is extremely too strong for the Belgian league. There is no ifs or buts about that. But could he transition into the Premier League? I've spoke a lot about him in the past, but I think he's someone that could help to gel the situation that we're having right now and really could come in and could challenge a first team spot in terms of Tommy Souček's position. We all know that Moyes is a fan favourite, a favourite of Tommy Souček, but something's definitely not clicking there with him for club nor country. Now, Hans Vanaken is a rare example of quality who stayed and flourished in the Belgium league, and he has won the Belgian Player of the Year several times. He's in the national squad. He's a key figure in the dominance of the Belgium game. He's tall, technical, he's thin. He's got a presence in the Bruges midfield. He can play as a number 8 or as a number 10, and he's not blessed with a lot of pace, but his vision, intelligence, and he has got a wand of a left foot, can give the illusion that he has more time around him than other. And like I said, he's got so many goals in the Belgium league, over 60, nearly 70 goals, and over 50 assists as well. He arrives into the box at the perfect time. And it's become one of the most common sights in the league, which is something that we got the best out of when it came with Tommy Souček, and we are lacking this season with Tommy Souček as well. So I think this is one that we should keep an eye on, because I think he's got the potential to come to the club. He has basically spoken out and said he would love to come to the Premier League. The deal collapsed with West Ham, but we do have to keep an eye on him moving forward. So put it in the comments and let me know your thoughts on the Hans Vanaken. Should we be scouting him? I think Moyes will be out there having a look at Vanaken and seeing what he's capable of doing and thinking, can he come in and help turn things around at West Ham? Is he an upgrade on Tommy Souček? I'm a big fan of Tommy Souček, but I think he could be an immediate upgrade on him. So let me know by putting it in the comments section below. Now, next I'm going to move on to another player, and a player that I know that Russ spoke about yesterday. It's been on our website as well, and that is Youssef En-Nesryi. Now, Sevilla, it looks like, believe the time has come for them to part ways with Youssef En-Nesryi, and it looks like he could be on the move in January. Now, he has looked a shadow of his former self. During the 2021 season, the Morocco international scored 24 goals in all competitions for Sevilla, contributing to 18 in La Liga and 6 in the Champions League. And he established himself a reputation as one of the most well-rounded strikers in the Spanish top flight, attracting plenty of interest across Europe, including our beloved West Ham. Now, after suffering from a hamstring injury in November 2021, he had struggled to produce the same level of form he had in previous seasons. Now, the former Sevilla and current Wolverhampton Wanderers coach is Julen Lopetegui. He dropped En-Nesryi in a bid to find goals, and his international boss also dropped him in the games on the lead up to the World Cup. Now, the star was subject to many bids from West Ham and David Moyes, who earmarked the striker as his number one target several summers ago, but was unsuccessful in bringing the player to the London Stadium. Now, he has travelled with the squad for Morocco squad and could find the tournament an opportunity to put himself in the shopping window. I don't know how realistic this option is. We are struggling for goals, and bringing someone in of his caliber, of what he once could do, to mix it up with the likes of Scamacca and Antonio could really add big value to West Ham. We could be getting a player that Moyes likes and wants to bring the best out of him. We know he's got history of doing that for a cut price deal. So that is something he could do. Plus, we've got his Moroccan friend in Naif Aguerd currently at the club. So we need to keep an eye at this potential deal with En-Nesryi and Sevilla. They'll be looking to get rid of the player. I just wonder if we'll bring him in and he will do a job for West Ham. Put it in the comments and let me know your thoughts on him. And last player I'm going to talk to you about is Ismaila Sarr for Senegal. If you haven't watched it, I watched the game against Holland, bits and babs. I had a telly on when I was sitting here working. But for me, he was their standout player. It wasn't the greatest of games to watch, but he was their player that really tried to create things in the game. A bit like Vanaken, I think he is one of those players that can try his best and drive when there's nothing really happening. Now, he broke through from a medium side, from Metz, you could say. He broke through from Metz with a history of who have a history of developing young players at the time as well. Now, he got lots of goals through that whole occasion when he was at French football, but he then, of course, found himself at Watford this season. In the Championship, he has played 17 games, scored 6 goals with 3 assists. And of course, last season, they were in the Premier League. He got 22 games with 5 goals, 2 assists. But he's pretty consistent with his goal-scoring record. But he is a less of a winger, but a traditional sense that he's a great accounting a great counter-attacking asset. He's capable of dribbling on the touchline or in the field, but he did that a lot in the game against Holland. But that doesn't mean that he's not strong in one-on-one situations. He's quite unique, actually. He's a unique player. He's a bit unpredictable sometimes as well, but he's very good at the counter-attack. He can knock his ball past an opponent, and he sets off no problem at all, galloping forward. He's got very, very good pace. He can also offer the option as an inside forward. He can drive inside from wide positions, and he loves that. That's what he likes to build his game on, and I think they're going to rely heavily on him at the World Cup, considering that Mane is missing for them as well. He's got lots of tricks up his sleeve. He's young, he's enthusiastic, he's strong, he's unpredictable. Things that things like Moyes likes as well. He's got athleticism, abundance. He's got individual skill, huge confidence in his own ability. He seems tactically sound as well about the game. But there could be, this is a player that dropped down to the Championship that plays for his international country and looks like he could easily make it in the Premier League, go back up to a Premier League club. He was linked to West Ham before, and I think this is a player that we could be looking at. So this is going to be something like a regular feature on the network channel just now. I know there's so many games, so we want to bring you something that's valid, that what players that we could be looking at. So what do you think? Will we be looking at trying to bring Hans Vanaken to the club, especially after the summer, where we were borderline really interested in bringing him in? He spoke out and said he was going to leave Club Bruce and potentially come to West Ham. Will we reignite our interest in Youssef En-Nesryi? Put it in the comments and let us know your thoughts as well. And finally, will we bring in Ismaila Sarr from Senegal? As we know, Moyes is in Qatar. Will he be out there scouting before the players come back to fitness? Who knows? Let's wait and see. If you're new around here, please hit that cheeky subscribe button. Why not? Help us. We're on the march towards 20,000 subscribers. Hit the thumbs up if you've enjoyed the content. Please leave a comment as well and give us your honest feedback. That's been your West Ham Daily for today. Make sure you join me later on for the Hammers headlines. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, hit the join option as well. Stay safe, of course, and come on, you Irons.
It's like a family tree, part of you.